Hi guys. Hello everyone coming in. Hi Vicky. Hi Angelo. Hi Anita. Hi Susan. Hi everyone. Slowly coming in. Hi everyone. Hi Janet. How are you guys doing today? I was not planning on coming on today. Actually it's something that kind of came up, so I had a little bit of free time, so I figured why not just jump on and yeah. Hi Pauletta. Love it. We love to see new people here. I'm good, Janet. You know, everyone gets always so nervous with the Sundays, you know, and you have to go back to work tomorrow, kind of thing. I had a super busy day yesterday, so it's nice to not have too much to do today. How about you guys? How was your weekend? And how are you guys feeling with the time change? I totally forgot about it, and then I woke up, I was like, wow, I got to sleep in today. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, nope, wishful thinking. My son did not let me sleep in today. Completely forgot about it. But how about you guys? And again, we'll just wait for a couple more people to join on in. Once we have a decent amount of people, we can go straight into some readings. Again, all of my readings are free. Just to also let you guys know, I have been having someone who is pretending to be me. They are impersonating me here on TikTok. They have the same name as mine, however, they're missing the S in spirits, so their name is Spirit with Sky and mine's Spirits with Sky, and they are messaging people asking them for money. I will never ask you for money on TikTok, so they are definitely a scam account. I have a ticket open with TikTok to try and get them removed from TikTok. They even posted my videos on TikTok, and you can tell that they screen recorded it because it has like a really weird logo in the bottom left from a screen recording. They also posted my feedback page, like, which is weird, as if people are going to post feedback on that post, whatever. The weirdest part though is they literally put the same bio, so they have my website in their bio and they also have my email in their bio, so I guess to try and make them look a little more legitimate. I don't know how, but they already have like 300 followers, so I don't know if they had followers before and then they just changed their account to look like mine, or if they're like buying followers, or people really do think it's me. So just to let you guys know, don't fall for it. I'm so grateful so far. No one has told me that they have fallen for it. They are asking people for money, and they're providing like a Venmo account. And if you click on the Venmo account, it's a different name. It's like a weird user logo. Like everything for me is 100% the same handle. My email is the same handle. Everything's always the same handle, but I will never ask you guys for money here on TikTok. Everything is always free on TikTok. I always tell you, if you want to book a private reading, which is separate from TikTok, you guys can go ahead and send me emails. However, anything that has to do with TikTok is always free. The only time I will ever message people is if I'm messaging you guys the notes that I take during your readings. Otherwise, it's just messaging you guys if you had messaged me a question. So I will never go and reach out to you guys. So let me know if this is happening to you guys. You know, I really want to be protective of my followers, and that's kind of how I portrayed it to TikTok in general. I was like, you know, because a lot of people are saying that they won't remove people if their content isn't violating any guidelines, which I think impersonating someone is definitely should be a violation of some sorts. But I told them, I said it should be a violation because the screenshots and the screen recordings I'm sending you is showing how they are trying to scam people and message them for money for services that are untrue. So I said, you know, out of protection of my followers and people here on TikTok, this account should be removed. So if you do come across them, you can go ahead and report them. I will not make a video bashing them because I can also then get in trouble on TikTok myself for harassing somebody. So I did make a video explaining the situation, but I didn't upload their account or anything because again, I'm trying to do this the right way based off of the research I've seen. So if you do come across their account, it is not me. Go ahead and report them. I already know a few people that said the report didn't even work and it said they didn't violate any guidelines, but I think someone said if enough people report them, then it will work. Hi, Kathy. TikTok, it's loopholes, and I think these scammers know that, and that's why you see most scammers on this platform. I don't really see scammers in other places, and I know for a fact when I had a problem with another without me being banned for saying another platform, the F platform, they handled it immediately. So hopefully they can maybe fix something when it comes to that, because yeah, other readers, yeah, I've seen it too. I just didn't really think that someone would want to do it for me. I don't have really that big of a following yet. Maybe a nap this afternoon. You know, a nap does sound good, to be honest. Everyone needs to catch up on sleep from this time change, huh? All right, guys, so we do have a little bit of people in here. Again, also, I don't know if because I've been having issues with this other person, and I've been messaging TikTok, like, I keep getting these weird notifications that there's something wrong with my account. They keep, like, kind of like, I don't know if it's shadow ban or something. It's something where, like, they keep sending me a notification saying that I'm violating stuff while I'm on live, and it says that they're gonna stop putting my stuff on For You page. I don't know what I did. I only ever go on live on here or post some videos. So I haven't been getting that many people on my lives. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a glitch or something. Oh, well, Kristen, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's been super weird. So it's been a really weird time. But again, I come on here for you guys, so I'm going to go live regardless. So if you guys want a reading, it's not you. Everyone has the same issue with TikTok. Oh, perfect. Listen, that makes me feel so much better because I was like, oh, I don't really do social media stuff. Like, what did I do wrong? So thank you. That really comforts me. Oh, awesome. Hope. I'm super glad. Yeah, and for anyone else coming in, I'm just going to probably keep warning people as I go on because I'm trying to spread the word that there is someone pretending to be me here on TikTok. It is not me. My handle is Spirits with Sky. This other person is Spirit with Sky. They're just missing the S, and they're asking people for money. Please do not fall for it. I will never do that. It's definitely an impersonator pretending to be me, and again, I will never do that to you guys, and I'm really nervous that someone may fall for it, and I don't want that to happen, so again, it's not me. But if you do want a reading, go ahead and comment the relationship of the person that you want to speak with. Whoever spirit draws me towards is who will get a reading. Unfortunately, I don't do questions here because I connect with spirits on a deeper level. I feel as though if I do answer questions, it'll be more of a psychic kind of just the vibes that I feel, and I do mediumship on TikTok here. So I always say that if you get a reading from me, 9 times out of 10, a question that you've been seeking will be answered in your reading because spirit kind of knows what you want to know. But yeah, don't put any details in the chat. Again, this is how scammers can kind of message you and they'd be like, oh, you know, I was talking to so-and-so and this person came through. So don't post any names in the chat. Just the relationship of the person you want to speak to. No other details because they're definitely probably watching my lives. And they're going to use that as a way to kind of make it feel like they're real by saying names. So just do the relationship. The rest I will just talk about. You can answer me details once you get the reading and kind of say like, yeah, they did do this or they do that or whatever. Or if I say a letter and you're like, oh yeah, their name is that, that's fine. But if you're just commenting to get the reading, don't put any details in the chat. And again, you guys can comment as many times as TikTok allows you to. It kind of helps me seeing your name many times, and it's just really weird how spirit kind of will just pick someone and then they'll kind of comment your name in my head multiple times as well. Sissy, are you still here? I believe you're trying to connect with Mom. Okay. Do you have another name so I don't have to keep calling you Sissy, or do you like being called Sissy? However you want me to address you. Stacy. Oh, that's pretty close. Okay, Stacy. Did you want to stay in the chat, Stacy, or did you want to go up in the little guest box? Totally up to you, whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever your preference is. Chat, please. That's totally fine. Just be rest assured, if you are saying replies and I keep asking you to reply, sometimes TikTok can like filter comments and it doesn't show me anymore who's filtered or not. So just kind of then send a comment, say I am answering, kind of a thing. I'm going to send this to a few real quick. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm going to... Do you help us connect with our higher self? So I help you guys connect to your loved ones. I'm kind of just like a messenger in that sorts. If you're planning to connect to your higher self or spirit guides, I would often direct you to go to a teacher, someone who specializes in helping you connect and kind of get to that point in your journeys. I definitely have not been a teacher or anything like that. You're welcome, absolutely. I will never say something and say like, oh yeah, I could totally do that if I've never actually done that. Okay, so I'm going to connect with your mom here, Stacy, and once I have a little bit of information, I will come back here and we will go through it and see if we are with Mom, okay? Let me turn this up too. This might actually go off, so I'm not even going to turn it up. Okay. 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 Okay, so I do have a few things. Are you still here with me, Stacy? I know I haven't been looking at the comments at all. Okay, so I do have a few things coming through. So immediately when I started connecting with this woman, I experienced a huge amount of back pressure. Usually this comes up for many reasons. It could be either that she had actual issues with her back, or because of the stiffness I'm feeling, either she was immobilized for a while or hospitalized for a while, or just, you know, kind of that feeling when you've laid in bed for too long. Like that's kind of the feeling she's given me. It also feels as though my breathing feels a little rough or hard to do. It's almost as if like I'm struggling to take breaths, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it's like hard to take like a deep breath. She was also showing me some throat pain as well. So this could be that she was having trouble with the throat, or she may have even been intubated at some point. And it's kind of like the pain you get in like your throat. And then some other things other than like health wise, she kind of showed me some jewelry that someone would still have of hers. I think it's specific things that like maybe even you would have that was hers. She does come across as a very hilarious person. I feel as though she was witty, and I feel as though sometimes she was unfiltered, if that makes sense. She also showed me kind of vibes of like the sense of calm or peace would draw her towards something like the beach of some sort. She kind of just showed me like kind of like beach decor kind of like vibes. So I don't know if any of that would make sense for her. She also kept talking about someone being older. Just saying the word older. I'm still trying to decipher what this means. She's also now showing me some pain in my arm as well. So I don't know if she was having trouble with circulatory issues and like her chest. But I am feeling a pain in like my chest and my arm as well. So this could also be circulatory related as well. Okay. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, and the older part, I can't tell if she's talking about like she was an older mom, or she's just talking about like being older, but she was just saying like the word older. I'm trying to figure out what she means with this. I mean, it may very well mean that she was just like an older mom in general. Can you connect with my past brother? Hi, Sabrina. I actually am reading for Stacy currently. It's kind of just who spirit draws me towards. I can't guarantee any readings for anyone, I'm sorry, but I do have an email if you want to reach out for a reading, just in case you don't kind of get picked. It's just kind of who spirit draws me towards with each one. Okay. Did she love the outdoors? Because it's kind of like she keeps showing me like the outdoors, like she felt calm being like outside. She's also showing me, hi Juanita, good morning to you too. For me it's 1:40 p.m. Yes, yeah, because it just feels as though she's like just an outdoor person. Like any chance that she could, she would be outside. And it's kind of like she was very in tune like with nature. I feel as though she's talking about the beauty of outside too. And I feel as though a lot of her like go-tos for outside, like even like education wise, if it's something that you guys can do outside, it almost feels as though she's going to want to be outside. Definitely in like the warmer weather. Okay. It just feels like she has a very common nature about her. Like she's very soft-spoken. It feels as though she's also extremely, I feel as though she's even in tune spiritually herself. Like it just feels as though she has like a lot of peace, or it's just she's constantly always trying to promote peace, if that makes sense. I feel as though she was also very in tune. She's talking about being in tune with her body as well. Meaning that any time that something was just out of sorts or she felt some specific way, like it's like she knew. It just feels as though like she liked when life was slowed down, if that makes sense. Like the common nature of taking our time, being slow, and just kind of enjoying the things around us. I feel as though she shows that she has so much strength. But I do feel as though she had been through a lot of things in her life. And I feel as though it's kind of like she kind of takes everything with like, what's the saying? She kind of rolls with the punches. It's almost as like no matter what life throws her way, no matter how difficult life gets, it's like she tries so hard to remain super strong. And she's one to not let her outside know that she's struggling, if that makes sense as well. It just feels like she's always doing something too. She's showing me that she's always on her feet. She's showing me feet. She's showing how she's always up and trying to find something to do. You wouldn't sit there and find her just being lazy kind of a thing. It's almost like she's always like, you know, doing something, finding something to do, whether it's cooking, cleaning, hobbies, whatever it is. Yes, that's her. Okay. Okay. She's also, it's really funny, she showed me dragonflies. She showed me dragonflies and she showed me butterflies. You love them, okay. But I feel as though she's talking about this around like flowers as well. So I don't know if she did some type of gardening or something with flowers as well. Let's Loves the garden. Okay, yeah. I feel as though she's talking about how like she was kind of old school. Like even with like her values, and like even like with like rules and stuff like that over time, like it just feels as though she's talking about how like she was like very old school, even with like how she parented, if that makes sense. She's also bringing up nature on the side of like animals as well. Was she like drawn to like animals in general? I just feel as though she's kind of showing me like animal lover. I just feel as though she's such a, like a nurturer, and it feels like she nurtures everything. She nurtures children. It's showing that she's like nurturing of nature, like you know, with like her gardening and all that stuff. But I feel as though it has something to do with animals as well. Would she be someone who also would feed animals like outside of the home, like squirrels, birds, all that kind of thing as well? Because I just feel like she's talking about like that's like her nature, like she was born to like nurture and take care of things. So like what is that, like feed wild animals? Okay. And I feel as though like there's memories that you have of you doing it with her. It's almost as if like she's showing that like no, like it's also showing this part of her that like she doesn't like to waste food, kind of a thing. It feels as though she's very strategic about how she budgets her money and how she makes sure that everything is done. And it's like when things are like there's bread that like you're not going to eat or it's going bad, she would literally use any type of food she could to try and feed the animals. And I feel as though it's a big memory to where like it was even like a daily thing to where it was like she would give you something and you would go out and do it. Okay. I feel like she did a lot alone in the parenting sense. I don't know if she's necessarily a single mom, but it feels as though a lot of the responsibilities had fallen on her. And I feel as though she talks about no matter how much on the outside it looks like she's got it all together, she's kind of talking about how on the inside it was kind of hard, but she would never show that to you guys specifically or other people. Thanks for the likes and follow, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're asking me questions in the chat, I don't always read them because, again, I'm like so into like the reading. I will try and read back after the reading. If I'm not answering a question you really need to know, just send me a message. Okay, so it's super strange. She's showing me like outdoor hobbies. Would anyone by chance, okay, this is gonna be super, super specific. Hi, bud, how are you? This is gonna be super, super specific. So I know kids ride their bikes and scooters and all those things. Would there be any reason why she would be showing me like a pogo stick? Is that the name of it? A pogo stick? I haven't thought of a pogo stick in years, and she just kind of showed one to me. I don't know if you've ever tried one or you had one. I don't even know if that's what it's called. It's pogo stick. Okay. So funny. She's also shown me like decor. So I don't know if she heavily loved to do decor in her home. It feels as though she's constantly always like she had a sense of pride in like what the inside of the home looked like. Like she showed me like lamps. I don't know if she had an infatuation with lamps, but she showed me different lamps, and it just feels like she's showing me like different things she would add to her decor. It was almost like it was like a hobby for her, and like she would go to the store and just find something and be like, oh, like that would look great in the house. And it feels as though she was like good with it as well. Okay. She feels like such a wholesome person. It feels like it doesn't take much for her to be happy. It feels as though she is kind of one of those people that like they really understand life. They understand what's important in life, and they make the best of life. They do what they can. It's almost as if she's talking about, even if you guys didn't have much or couldn't do much, she still tried to find the magic in the little things to make you feel like you're having that fun, that love. It's almost as if like even just going on like a nature adventure just felt so rich for you guys. Like you felt rich no matter how maybe even financially you actually were or not. It just feels as though she was trying to do all those type of things. What is that? It feels as though she's also someone who would strive on trying to eat healthy as well. Like she really cared about the body. I feel as though she was very, what is that word? She would just like eat clean, like healthy, and just like trying to eat healthy. Just like definitely watch what you put in the body, if that makes sense. Yes, there at the end, yeah. She's talking about how much of a struggle it was towards the end, for you to kind of watch how things were happening. I feel as though it was like you kind of disassociated to a point to where like I feel like even weeks afterwards still were like in shock and couldn't collect your thoughts that she was no longer here. And she's showing me a holding of the hands as well. And I feel as though it was super hard, and I feel like she's talking about how you were trying to be strong and like put on a brave face. Now, she's showing me a birthday cake, and that's usually my sign that there is a birthday nearby. This could be currently there's a birthday nearby, or because we're talking about the end of her life, it could be end of her life there was a birthday nearby, but she is showing me a cake, specifically a chocolate cake. Her birthday, okay. And again, she was very specific about a chocolate cake, so I don't know if anyone's specific with the chocolate cake. She's also showing me the number 2. The number 2 would come up for the 2nd of the month of February, or sometimes it can mean children. 9 times out of 10, it's usually about the month. But she is showing me the number 2. Okay, it's okay. With her other child, she was showing me dinosaurs. So I don't know if she's trying to tell me that she had a son or someone was just into dinosaurs. Oh, she wants me to back up a couple steps. I feel as though she's talking about someone who was taking care of her towards the end, because she's showing like a love and like a appreciation and like a thank you towards it. Did you comment back? Hi, Melissa. I don't know. Oh, about the dinosaurs. Could be because I hear my son and he loves them. Don't mind if you hear my son, guys. He's with his dad. I don't have him just running around my house, I swear. Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, so I don't know if she's definitely given some sense of like gratitude towards someone who kind of took care of her towards the end. It almost feels as though she's kind of talking about how I don't think anyone really knew what was happening. There's like big question marks towards her passing, almost like it was like a shock, because it was almost as if, so it was either things started doing better and then it just like a rapid decline, or just in general was completely stagnant and then just declined out of nowhere. But it just feels like there's a lot of question marks, and it's just like, what the heck happened? And I feel like when I talked earlier about like this process of like, I still am not caught up on what just happened. And it just felt like it was just so sudden. And it was just like, well, what went wrong, if that makes sense? But it's just showing like a lot of question marks towards the end, and I feel as though it's like we kind of already know that there was problems. It's not like there was never problems and it's like a complete mystery, but it just feels as though because of how it happened and how quick it happened, it was almost like, how could something go so wrong so quickly to where like it's like you blink and they're just gone. And I think she wants to, you know, apologize. And I don't know, also she's making me feel like, I feel as though she start having some type of even like indigestion of some sort. She keeps, I don't know, and I don't know if this is tied towards like the heart, and I know that women feel that when it comes to heart issues or circulatory issues, is they feel like an indigestion kind of a thing. But it feels as though, as much as she just kind of says that she tried super hard to it's almost as if like her body just wasn't equipped to handle it, if that makes sense. It's almost as if she like really apologizes because it's not how she wanted you to kind of see her go, if that makes sense. It's almost as if she's talking about a feeling that you had, and it's like, if you knew that what was going to happen, you would have said certain words. Like, are there some things you feel like you didn't get to say to her? And she kind of wants you to like know that like she knows everything, that how you felt. She knows everything that you would have said to her. And she doesn't want you to feel that way. But it just feels like you have this feeling of, you wish that if you had known that she was going to go at the time she was going, that you would have, you wonder what you would have done, or if you would have prepared yourself, or if you would have said certain things. Yeah, she wants you to know she knows everything that you wanted to say to her. She knows all of your feelings. She knows everything. She knows when you talk to her still. She knows all of that. She basically has, like I tell everyone, they have front row seats to like your entire life. So all of the things that you would say, oh, I wish I would have told them that, or I wish I would have told them more how much I love them. Like they know. And it's just, again, it's more so that she wishes she could have done more for you, not what you could have done for her, if that makes sense. It feels as though she talks about you being sensitive in that way, and I feel as though it's like she always kind of protected you when it came to sensitive things. And I feel as though she is sorry that she wasn't able to protect you for something like this, because she was gone and she couldn't be the one to sit there and like hold you and make you feel better, you know. In this certain circumstance they can't, because she was already gone. But yeah, and it feels as though like she knew how sensitive you were to stuff like this. It almost feels as though like this kind of stuff even freaked you out too. So it was almost as if I don't know, do you have a feeling like you felt bad for how like you were acting around her towards the end, because you just didn't know how to act, because it's just like you didn't know, it was kind of like stuff you're uncomfortable with when it comes to like health and like the end of life kind of a thing. Yeah, and she says you shouldn't feel that way. She was like, you know, she wants you to remember her in all the good times. She doesn't want you to remember her like that. Again, I feel as though she was not herself towards the end. I feel as though she had a lot of stuff going on, and it was almost as if her body knew that she was going before she did. Like her soul knew that it was her time. but I feel as though she just wants you to not feel any type of guilt for how you were acting, because that was just your cold reaction, you know? Like, that's just some things freak us out. And some people are okay with it. Some people are okay with going to funerals and it doesn't bother them. Some people do feel a little uncomfortable and they're not really good with that kind of stuff and it kind of scares them. And she says there's no reason to feel sorry for that. So, yeah, she just, she wants you to know that she knows every single time you try to talk to her. And I feel as though you try to talk to her and like, when you're alone and when you're by yourself. And yeah, and she says, don't let it bother you. She 100% knows how much you loved her. And again, I feel as though you know that she usually protects you in those moments because she already knows how you feel about those things. And it's again, like, she wishes she could shield you from that kind of a thing, but you know, she couldn't. But she doesn't want you to feel guilt about it. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You are just being you. You're being your authentic self, which she always wants you to be. She doesn't want you to be fake. She didn't want you to have, you know, try to show a brave face. She was your mom, you know, and already it's an uncomfortable situation because it's stuff you don't really like, and then but it's also your mom. So again, remember, that's not her last memory of you, you know what I mean? So don't feel guilty about that. And she's kind of talking about how even when you talk to her, when you're thinking of her, I feel as though she really shows herself to you through nature. So I don't know if you see butterflies, but it does feel as though she kind of comes to you around in like butterflies. And if you haven't already, to keep an eye on that. But I hope that resonated with you. She was a wonderful person. She gave a lot of information. And don't let me forget, if I don't send this to you by today, these notes, go ahead and send me a message. Some people, I've noticed lately that a lot of people, they have their settings on, like private, so I can't message them. And I've tried to message people, pictures. If that happens, I will just, tell you to send me an email. I felt bad. The one girl, I think it was last week, it won't let me message her anything. So I had to comment on like her most recent video. And I was like, hey, can you like send me an email so I can send you your picture? Because I had no other way to tell them like, hey, I'm trying to send you a picture of your notes. So again, if you have your page super private, go ahead and just send me an email. It's in a link in my bio. It's spiritswithsky with 2 Y's at Gmail. And then I will send you your notes. I also post all of my lives on my YT channel, so you can always go back and watch them as well. That's only for my lives. I don't do that for my private readings. I think you can message me. Perfect. That's 100% what I'll do first. I always try to message you guys first. It's the quickest, easiest thing to do. But thank you so much for being vulnerable and allowing everyone else to kind of be a witness to your reading. I know how, you know, hard it can be, especially when it gets super emotional. So I appreciate it. And thank you for allowing me to read for her. I'm going to send her love and light back to you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. And so I just take usually a couple minutes, 1 or 2 minutes or so, to kind of get my energy back up in between readings. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, just talk for a few. Again, I don't get to read all the messages that you guys say in the chat, because when I'm doing a reading, I'm very respectful of the reader and their loved ones to kind of do this. if you have a question that I really didn't answer and you really want me to answer, go ahead and send me a message. You can either email me, which is in my bio, or you guys can message me on here, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Just an FYI, before we have any conversations, I do have someone who is impersonating me here on TikTok. I already am trying to handle it. I have a help ticket with TikTok. People have been trying to report this page. They are messaging my followers asking for money. I will never ask you for money on here. My TikTok is completely free. I do this because I enjoy it. I will never ask money from you guys ever. It actually really saddens me that some people are almost getting scammed from this. They have the same handle as me, except for they're missing the S here in the Spirits with Sky. So there's a Spirit with Sky. I try to report it. They even posted my videos. They posted my feedback post, which is super strange, as if people were going to really comment their feedback. They have my same bio. So they have my website on their bio and they have my email on their bio. I'm not really sure how else they handle it. I've been watching other videos to try and see like how to go about it. People are letting me know that after they report it, TikTok really isn't taking it down because they're saying that their videos don't violate any guidelines that they have, which, I mean, I think impersonating someone is like, you know, a violation. But I do have a help ticket. I sent them all the evidence. I sent them screen recordings, screenshots of them trying to scam people and ask them for money through a Venmo. Again, that is not me. Please do not get scammed. If you come across the page, try to report it. Maybe the more people who report, maybe the better. I do have a video about it, but again, I'm not trying to make too many videos about it because I've also heard that that could be harassing and I can also get in trouble for that as well. So, again, trying to figure out how to do it, but just please don't get scammed. That's like my biggest fear, is I don't want you guys to spend money thinking that you're with me and it's not. So this is my only page. This is my only profile. I don't have anything else. I'm only on here. So don't fall for any of that crap. Okay, guys? Yeah, it does seem like it happens to a lot. I don't know why. I mean, I don't have that big of a following, so I don't know why they would do it. Maybe that's why they did it, because they don't have a big following. So they think that they can kind of make a new one. I don't know. But they already have 300 followers, unless they already had followers as a different account and they just changed the name. I don't know. Maybe they're buying followers. I have no idea. I just really hope you guys don't fall for it. I'm trying to read your questions, guys. I did see someone answer something about a mentor. I found a mentor who was actually through groups on the F platform. Without me getting banned, I can't say other platforms. So another social media platform with an F. There was some groups that I was a part of, and they're just mediumship groups. And I found someone who was in the UK who was a mentor. Her name was Danielle. I don't remember her last name, but I'm also not going to say her name if she doesn't want people to kind of know her on another platform. But she was a mentor and she just kind of did classes. It was once a week for like 8 weeks. It was like on Sundays. My biggest thing for you guys is do a lot of research. Watch, the biggest thing you can do when it comes to mentors is watch how they do readings, if they have like clips of like how they do it. The second thing is to look at reviews of clients who went to them for mentorship. So you can kind of look at their reviews, their pages, see if like anyone, you know, have a big following when it comes to that. And the third thing is before you do any type of mentorship, anytime you try to get to any spiritual journey, my number one thing always is protection, protection, protection. Make sure that you know how to protect yourself. A lot of different people can do that. Sometimes mentors can also teach you about protection. A lot of times you guys can go to like a healer to learn about how to protect yourself. I spoke to a healer in the beginning of my journey. I had intent of turning this off. I didn't want to do this. I had a lot of fear behind talking to spirits, especially since I had a baby and I was afraid of bringing something negative into my home, negative into my baby's life, any type of like negative attachments. I was scared. So I went to this person trying to learn how to shut it off completely and protect myself that way. Unfortunately for me, it actually amped things up. I did teach myself how to protect myself, but then I guess I kind of maybe opened more doors and it just got worse. And so then I almost for a straight year did all nothing but protection and trying to ground myself, healing, all that kind of stuff. And then I started reaching out to mentors on learning how to actually communicate with these spirits. And so I think a lot of research is the best thing for you to do. I'm so sorry for all of your losses, guys. I feel as though anyone can do this. I feel as though everyone has the ability to talk to the other side. Again, I feel as though we are all kind of one realm. I just feel as though some are sensitive than others, and I feel as though if the more open you are to it, I think the easier it can be for you. But I feel as though that there are mentors that can get you to this. You just have to kind of, the biggest thing is patience. Patience, perseverance, not giving up, a lot of meditation, a lot of, again, protection's the biggest thing, trying to protect yourself. You definitely want to learn how to turn it on and off. I can't express this enough. Some people don't even try to turn it off and they want to constantly 24/7 hear spirits. Like, I mean, I guess that's a preference, but I just feel as though it literally depletes your energy so well, like so badly. And I've also heard of other mediums talking about how it actually can affect your health because your energy is always constantly low. And again, spirits kind of dwell off of your energy, and it's a big energy kind of battle in between. And I feel as though if you constantly have it on, it can really kind of start to affect you physically. So again, the biggest thing about this is education, talking to the people who've been there, done that, finding the best mentors you can, doing what you can. It can be expensive. Taking classes is not cheap. Sometimes you just have to, again, the patience and knowing that it just doesn't happen overnight. If you have the mindset that, okay, I don't care how long it takes me, I'm just going to keep going and chugging along and see where I can get. Perfect, then it's for you. The more patience you have, get books. There's tons of books out there. You can go to a thrift store. I think the biggest thing for me is I found these books, and it just kind of taught me different things. I'm like, what are clairs? What are spirit angel numbers? Like, I didn't know any of this, so I went to a thrift store and there was like books for like $1 each. Again, it can get expensive and it can take up a lot of time too, and it can get super frustrating, but as long as you persevere with it, then I say why not? Was I born with it? I was always in tune with spirit. I had a lot of spiritual encounters as a child. Like my grandparents' home, I was always drawn to like spirits in their house. My childhood home had some spirits that would kind of mess with me. And I always had fear with it. And I feel as though once I didn't have fear of it anymore, that's kind of when it kind of, I guess, blossomed. I don't know what other word to describe it. But fear is definitely a big thing that can kind of put a delay in like your gifts. If you have fear with it, it's not going to go further, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it closes you off from the other world because you have such fear with it. Ooh, love Ducky. That is very, oh. My kid's father and my brother were born the same year. I died the same year. I'm so sorry for your loss. But okay, guys. Lived on study time. So I connect to my loved ones as spiritual guides. I kind of ask them to come forward during each of my readings as a form of protection. Again, you know, guys, how big I am on protection. And I've had loved ones come to me certain points, but I don't actually go out and try to talk to them. I kind of just wait for them to come to me. Sometimes they'll come in my dreams, or sometimes they'll just tell me certain things when certain problems are happening. But I just feel as though every spirit is different, whether they're your family or not. Like, I have spirits who, in my readings, some readings, spirits will tell me some very detailed information, and their energy is super high, super positive, and they literally will tell me the most specific things. And then I have other, you know, loved ones who they'll give me information, they'll tell me how they pass, but they won't be super specific. And I feel as though that has to do with their energy level on the other side as well. I also feel as though it's funny because certain people's personalities also come into how they come through in a reading. If they were very closed off or very skeptic of this kind of stuff, it'll be very hard trying to pull information out of them. I also feel as though my sitters as well, if you are skeptical, it's also hard to try and get information as well. So it's all different. You know, I'm not going to have the same thing. Otherwise, all of us mediums would go down a whole question list and be like, okay, what's your name? How old are you? Blah, 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 blah. If it was that easy, my job would be 10 times easier. But honestly, spirits do all of the work. I'm just the messenger. So however they're able to get information, however strong, you know, their energy is so that they can, whatever they say, show me, you know, whatever it is that comes through, make me feel. That's what comes through for your readings. How much is it for a reading? So these are free. TikTok is always free. I would never ask for money. Again, there's a imposter out there who's trying to be me and they're asking people for money. Please don't get scammed. If you guys want a reading that is a private reading that is not here, you guys can send me an email at Spirits with Sky. It's the same as my TikTok handle and it's in my bio as well. But all right, guys, if you guys want a reading, I have time for one more reading today. If you guys want one, just comment the relationship of the person that you want to speak with. Just the relationship. Don't put any other details in the chat. Otherwise, it's kind of like if you give me their name and they were going to tell me in the name in the reading, it's kind of a disservice to you. And also, I don't want any scammers, like the one who's impersonating me, to see this information, tell you the details, and go and message you and be like, hey, Bob came to me last night and wants to give you a reading. Send me this money. We don't want that to happen. So don't put any details in the chat, just relationship. And whoever spirit draws me towards is who will get the reading. I don't do questions, but I always say, oh, thank you for the glasses. That's cool. What is that? That's so awesome. Thank you. Oh, who was that? Tama? Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. Oh, thank Love Ducky. It said someone sent me something. So Tammy sent me a heart. Thank you so much. And Love Ducky sent me the glasses. Thank you. I don't know what any of this stuff means, guys. Again, I am like a 2-year-old when it comes to like the 2-year-old like thought level when it comes to this live stuff. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Again, TikTok always sends me a message that something's going wrong and I never know, but thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. So today is the 8th again. Again, go ahead and comment as many times as TikTok allows you guys. The more people who comment, the more your name will repeat and it'll show up in my head. Oh no, I think my pen's starting to die. No. I love this pen. I do have another one, but I like this one. Chanel, are you still here? I hope I'm saying that right, Chanel. For Grandpa. Oh, do you remember what your dream was, Gabby? Because 9 times out of 10, it's usually them giving you a message in your dream. Chanel, you here? Comments are going. Oh, there you are. Hi, Chanel. And you wanted to connect with Grandpa. Okay. Did you want to stay in the chat, Chanel, or did you want to do in the guest box up here so you could talk? whatever your preference is, whatever you know, are more comfortable with. Chat. Okay, that's fine. So just to let you guys know, all of my live recordings from my lives are always uploaded to my YT channel. This way you guys can kind of go back and look at it if you missed anything. I do feel as though having a reading can be super emotional and you might not remember a lot of it, so that'll be a way for you guys to go back and watch it. I also will send you a picture of my notes that I take during the reading as well. I try to write down everything, but sometimes I just talk and I won't write down everything, so that's why the live recordings will kind of help too. I just always let you guys know that, since, you know, this kind of reading will be recorded, but it won't have your name or anything like that. But, okay, so I'm going to try and connect with Grandpa, and we will see what information we get. And then once I have a little bit of info, I will relay that to you, and we will go from there, seeing if we are connected with him, okay? And again, if you guys are asking me questions during the reading I might not answer, just go ahead and send me a message on here, or send me an email, which is in my bio, and I will get back to you. Okay. Okay. All right, so I do have some information coming through. So again, guys, this is for Chanel and her grandpa. So Chanel, just let me know if you're still here with me. Perfect. Okay, so I do have a gentleman here. Immediately very timid to come forward. This could be either they're a shy person in general when it comes to strangers, or my most biggest theory is that this is something that they would definitely not believe on the other side while they were still here. So physically, I feel very drawn towards the head. I don't know if they had something going on with their head. I do have pain in my head, like a pressure in my head, if that makes sense. I do feel as though he's talking about being like a hard worker. So I feel as though he kind of worked with his hands a lot, maybe even was like a, you know, handy kind of man. Like he would kind of do things himself, if that makes sense as well. He was showing me like nails and stuff like that. I do feel as though he was a hard worker, constantly trying to, you know, I think he had to provide for his family. It feels as though he was closed off to his emotions to strangers, meaning that unless you knew him personally, he wasn't going to sit there and talk about his emotions. I feel as though that's kind of like men don't show emotions, if that makes sense as well. I did also get a family tree immediately, but I got a family tree before I even brought him forward. Just immediately when I said I was going to connect with Grandpa, a family tree came. So that could be that someone has been looking into like their family background, like ancestry kind of stuff. He was also showing me, he was showing me food. So a big food lover. He was showing me like trucks and cars. So I don't know if he was into vehicles like trucks and cars. He also was talking about two other things. One was talking about how he may have had a or he's given me the feeling that he had a rough childhood. And maybe he doesn't even talk about it much. It just kind of shows like a big emotional point about his childhood. And he also talked about how he was very stubborn and very set in his ways when it comes to morals and values. Meaning that he had very specific morals and values. That's my no-no. Okay. And who's a no-no? Is that like a grandma? Grandpa Italian side. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you want, do you want to continue talking to this grandfather? Or is this the grandfather you were setting your intention to? I just asked Spirit to bring your grandfather forward. You let me know if you want to continue with this one. He's very sweet. I do feel as though he's a very, very sweet man, though. Not specifically, but I have a closer relation. Okay. Okay. Did you want to continue with this grandfather, or did you want to try and go for a different grandfather? Totally up to you. Continue. Okay, cool. All right. So does everything make sense for him then? It feels as though he was like a very quiet, sweet man. I feel as though he doesn't even show emotions towards certain things, but I do feel as though he's an emotional person, kind of like a big teddy bear. It's almost as if like if he cries, then other people cry because they're not used to seeing him cry, if that makes sure, if that means anything to you. He's also shown me the number 3. This could be either the 3rd of the month, the month of March. Sorry, I was just reading your comment. The 3rd of the month, the month of March, or children. But he is showing me the number 3. I'm gonna write it up here as well. Okay. He also shows big love. Your birthday's in March. Okay, perfect. He's showing huge, like he showed me like big hearts. So I don't know if it was towards the whole birthday thing, but it feels as though he's really talking about just love in general. I feel as though family meant so much to him. So do you know much about his childhood? Did he have a rough childhood? Because it's almost as if he talks about how he had such a rough childhood, and then it was like one of his main goals was to try and make sure that his family was a lot closer and had much more love than his childhood, if that makes sense. Again, I know it's hard to kind of tell, know much about our ancestors and like our grandparents, like kind of childhoods, unless they actually specifically spoke about it. But that's definitely what he's kind of talking about with me. Oh, March 3rd. Yes, Okay. He's talking about this, and it's almost as if it feels like he just never got a break. It just feels like like he talked about earlier with working like a hard worker. I just feel as though it never stopped for him. He never took a moment to actually sit there and like breathe and relax. And I feel as though he was a big person when it came to like having so much pressure, maybe even felt that. He didn't. He then had 12 kids and worked on the railroad. Oh wow. Oh, my husband works on the railroad. 12 kids. What? Wow. That is absolutely crazy. 12. Holy cow. Yeah, and it just feels like that, but it feels as though there's also a great sense of pride in it too, that he's working for his family. It just felt like he really had to grow up super quickly. I don't even think he really got a chance to be a kid, if that makes sense. And I feel as though he has so many emotions about his childhood, and he just doesn't really talk about it much. And I think that's just like a really big coping mechanism for him, because that's like his point of like trying to like keep it together, if that makes sense. Like he kind of talks about how like he doesn't have time to fall apart. He didn't have time to fall apart. He didn't have time to sit there and grasp, what life had handed to him. He just kind of had to keep going and keep his head on his shoulders and keep him up high and just keep moving through, support his family, provide for his family. And like, that's what he had to do. And he kind of talks about how like it just almost felt as if he was always out working, doing things. He didn't get to be home much, if that makes sense. He's also showing me I don't know if it's specific to you, but he's showing me like a kite. I don't know if you have a memory with a kite, or maybe your parents have a memory with the kite. It might be something you have to ask your parents about. Show me a kite, which is cool because I've never had a kite really come through. But it's almost as if like he wanted to be playful with kids, and I feel as though that's a big part of him and trying to like be childlike. And I feel as though him having to grow up so quickly, he didn't have that like child type in his life. And he's bringing up the head again. So do you know if there's something with the head with him? Like this pressure in the head? I haven't seen it. Thank you guys for all the likes, the follows. I really appreciate it. Really got a kite tattoo as his last tattoo. Oh my gosh. Again, I've never had a kite come up, so that's awesome. A kite tattoo. Did he say what the kite tattoo was for? That's hilarious. I drew a picture too. So I don't know if it kind of looks like his tattoo. That would be cool. Did he say the head? Yes, he fell down the stairs in his apartment. He was in the hospital after. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you know, but it's literally like the left side of my head. I'm going to tell him to stop making my head feel that way since we figured out what it was for. I don't want a headache on this Sunday. Yeah, did he ever say what the kite was for? That's so interesting to have a kite tattoo. I love that. If you don't know, can you ask someone to message me? Because I would love to know. I always love the backgrounds behind tattoos. It's from my uncle that passed. Oh, okay. Okay. Makes sense. I wonder if they did kites together or something. That's super, super, super sweet. But see, guys, isn't it cool the things that they'll bring up? It's just like these random things. But he's also showing me, what is this? Does someone still have, okay, this is, I don't know. He's showing me shirts. So cute, my curtains. So this is funny. These are the curtains I moved in with. We have been doing our house. We bought a very old house and we've been redoing all of it. The only thing we haven't redone in this house yet is our bedrooms and the bathroom. But the bathroom is not bad. It was kind of DIY'd by the people who lived here, so it's not that bad. But our bedrooms we haven't touched, and I don't know if you guys know, it's really hard finding curtains anymore. I can't find curtains anywhere. So I haven't figured that out. I'm pretty sure I might just do blinds instead of curtains, but thank you. But he's showing me, see, this is why I don't answer questions, guys. Oof. I don't even know what I was saying. Can someone remind me what I was saying? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss, Priscilla. Yes, our babies always know us. Shirts. Oh yeah, he was showing me shirts, and I don't know if he specifically, like, there's a shirt you can recall, like he was a person who had like a specific type of shirt he always wore, but it also feels as though maybe someone has his shirts. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't do questions. Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank goodness one of our heads are on today. Let me know if this makes sense for you, Chanel. He just also is talking about how he feels like he's just a simple man. Like, it feels though it didn't take much. He didn't need to have much, if that makes sense. It also feels as though he had one sense of style. Like, it seems like he always had, like, he kind of dressed the same every day. Like, I hope you're still with us. The only thing I think of is my mom made her sister like. Oh, that's probably what it is. Was it specifically shirts? Because he's showing it. Was he, I know we talked about how he was in the cars and the trucks, but he's also showing me a boat, like a sailboat. Would he have something to do with, like, he's showing me a sail on a boat? Like an old-fashioned, like, boat that had, like, like the triangle sail. Not sure I was young, but I know we all have one. He was in the Navy, okay. Chanel, ask about the shirts, with the blanket, if you can. If you can, and then message me. I love hearing your guys' feedback and telling me all these things, but that's definitely what it is, just showing me any type of connection when it comes to shirts and memories. The blanket definitely has to do with it. Oh yeah, also, yeah, it'll be uploaded on my YT channel, and you'll be able to watch all of it. You might have to go to the half point because I already had a reading beforehand, and it doesn't separate them. He was in the Navy. Okay, that makes sense for the boat. It feels as though he doesn't really talk about the Navy. It feels as though he talks about, like, the good memories and stuff, but when you ask about the actual, like, I guess, what, the war stuff in general, it feels as though he won't really talk about it. And he kind of talks about how he was close with a lot of people he was with in the Navy as well. Talk about, like, they're his brothers. Did he also have a very contagious deep laugh as well? Because he showed me this laugh to where it was like, it was almost as if, like, even if he laughed, no one would know what he was laughing at, and they would still laugh because it was like a contagious laugh. The cutest, loudest laugh. Yeah, he's just like, big laugh. And I feel as though he definitely was just someone who, he seems like such a strong, sweet man. Like, it just feels as though, like, I don't know if you have felt this, but it's almost like I feel bad for knowing all the things he had been through in his life. Like, I feel so bad, and it just makes me love him more, if that makes sense, knowing what he went through and seeing how, like, he didn't let what happened to him affect the people around him. It's almost as if he, like, his goal was to not, he wouldn't want sympathy from people. He just kind of wanted to, he didn't want to kind of like kill the mood, if that makes sense. He's talking about meals too. Did your family have like meals to where it was like everyone was all together? Maybe even like a family dinners or something like that, because he's talking about meals. He's talking about people being surrounded at a table. And it's like almost as if like this is like a very big occurrence, and it was like there would be so much food, like, and he's kind of having fun, like making fun of this, like as if you would think that you were like feeding an army. And it's almost as if like whoever was cooking, they always made 10 times more food than what was needed. And it was like there would just be food everywhere. And he would love this because it feels as though he was a food lover in general. And I think those are like his best memories, are being surrounded by family, like dinner, like even if this was holidays. But he's definitely laughing about it. And I feel as though he's talking about how he would make these comments when he was still here about like, what are we trying to do? Feed like an army here? Like, are we feeding the whole neighborhood? So we eat a lot. Every meal was a feast too, because he had 12. That too. General talk. No, we're talking for Chanel here. I used to play make-believe. No, I used to play make-believe too, and that's not this. Thank you though, Yuri. But yeah, it just, he just feels like such a sweet man. He's also bringing up the, he's also bringing up the letter E. So I don't know if this would tie to anybody. This could be first name, middle name, last name. And he's also bringing up, like sports of some sorts too. Probably not, because I'm talking to Chanel, Yuri. I'm sorry. If you would like a reading, just let me know. No, I get it. I'm just gonna let Chanel answer. Let's see. Emiliana, perchance. Could be. Is Emiliana in your family? What's the perchance? Yeah, that's my future daughter's name. Oh, that's cute. Oh. Well, they would still be a part of your family. Yeah, he's just, it just seems like he's just bringing up all the different things that are going on in the family, and it feels as though like family was like the biggest thing for him. Did he, when it comes to the cars and trucks, did he try to work on cars and trucks? Hey girl. I know, last week I tried to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think this week I'm gonna go back to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Guys, I was trying to be good and be like, oh, well, I'll put more days at the gym and be healthy. And then I'll just cut back on having 2 readings during the week instead, and I think we're gonna change it. Yeah, Yuri, this part is general, but most of her read wasn't general if you were still here. We talked about specific tattoos and stuff, but I appreciate your feedback. I don't think anybody has a kite tattoo. But thank you, though. Let's see. He's addressing something bigger. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Is this about the car? Or a vehicle of some sorts? Okay, I'm going back and forth between your comment and this comment. No, I thought we were talking about the car, son. Oh, you're talking about the letter E. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, the last thing I was saying was, he was talking about the trucks and the cars. And that he may have actually, like, worked on them. Oh, okay, so there's the E. Okay. Was there other, he had a lot of them. He's kind of talking about how, I feel as though that specific situation with the E isn't the only situation with someone, talking about who's getting what after he had passed, if that makes sense. I feel as though there was big questions around who gets what for different things, if that makes sense. I feel as though this isn't the only situation. Like, the dollhouse isn't the only thing. There was kind of like bickering going back and forth. Right, okay. I feel as though, so he's kind of showing me that there are specific people that weren't heavily involved in his life at the time. Either they were a little more on the distant side, and then they felt like they were, like, kind of entitled to certain things, even though they weren't as heavily involved. I feel as though they kind of were off and going and doing their own thing in life, and, like, their family and stuff, and they weren't as close, I guess, with the immediate family with him, yet they were, like, kind of fighting about who gets what. Even it's kind of like, well, where have you been, kind of a thing. At least that's what he's making me feel about the situation. He's also shown me the number 7, so I don't know who the 7th child is. Who's the 7th child? Precisely, they still are. I know you said he had 12 kids, but he's shown me the number 7. Teresa. Okay. Would any of this have something to do with her? Because, again, I'm asking him about the situation. He was just showing me the number 7. Is someone also fighting about something that was in the household, like a decor of some sort? Furniture or a decor in the house as well? And I feel as though there's also about who's getting pictures, or some people are saying, like, they want certain pictures or something. Okay. He's also talking about like music, like records as well. Did someone get music and records? An answer fighting over money. Would that be 7, Teresa? Yes. Okay. And I know I mentioned also he was talking about records. Did he have records that also got passed down? And he just showed me music and then he showed me circles. So I see that as like records. Or this could be like actual like discs of music, but it just, yes. Okay. Also, I know you said he was in the Navy. Do you know if he was specifically had talked about like submarines? Because you showed me submarine. You have Frank and Dean. Okay. I feel as though he's also talking about how you guys had similarities. Like you have specific likes that you guys also shared. Like I feel as though you have similarities from him. I feel as though you're also into like classic stuff, like old school stuff. Ugly fingers? Don't go say you have ugly fingers. Don't be so mean. Yes, just got to meet Tom and Jerry because of him. Okay. I love Tom and Jerry. I also feel, are you also having difficulty with a specific person in your life? This feels like like a friend or something, some type of, it just feels as though someone's kind of draining the energy out of you. It feels as though he's kind of talking about how, like, you even have on your mind, like, possibly they're bringing more toxic to your life than they should be. And it's kind of like there's constantly always something negative about them. Okay. It's kind of like you don't know if you need to like distance yourself from them. I feel as though this is a really big stressor, and I feel as though it's like even when you try not to think about it and you try to just go to work, go do your thing, and it's just like it's just always on your mind, and it's just like literally hurting you mentally right now. I feel as though he's saying there's no harm in space, and that sometimes space can make the heart grow fonder, because I feel as though you don't necessarily don't want her in your life. I feel as though you're just at a point right now to where maybe you guys need some distance and you need like a break, if that makes sense. I feel as though it just feels as though you guys don't see eye to eye on a lot of levels. I feel as though mom can be very controlling. Hi, Stacy. Yeah, I just feel like he's definitely talking about some spaces needed, and I feel as though this could actually maybe help your relationship, because I feel like that's a part of you to where like you don't want to ruin your relationship completely with your mom, but you definitely need things to be better. And I think he's talking about how do you feel like she's very controlling? Because he's talking about her like kind of controlling things, and he's kind of showing me that like she's trying to like control you, or like very opinionated, kind of pushes her opinion on you, maybe doesn't, wants you to do things that you don't want to do. And it's almost as if I feel as though he's talking about if you create some distance there, I feel as though it'll kind of get her the hint like, hey, this is my life, I'm going to do what I want, you can either be a part of my life or you don't have to be a part of my life. And I feel as though this will maybe open her eyes to see like, okay, if I still want to remain in her life, I have to keep my distance and I have to keep my opinions to myself, and I have to only support rather than trying to control. So I don't know if that makes sense for you. But I feel as though he's talking about like, you have every right to do that. And I feel as though he's kind of putting a thumbs up to that. And I also feel as though he's talking about like, it's not like a mean thing to do. Sometimes you have to just create space for some people. And I feel as though she's going through a rough time, and I feel like it just kind of feels as though she's taking it out on you. I feels as though she's losing a sense of control with her life, so she's trying to control yours. Does that make sense? Because it kind of just feels like her life is kind of spiraling, like her personal. And I feel as though it's like, since she doesn't have control with that kind of stuff, she's trying to control you. Okay, yeah. So with that, make sure that you are creating boundaries. And in order for you to create boundaries, you might have to create a bit of space. You can tell her what you're going to do. You can tell her like, hey, I think we need some space right now. I think, you know, I need to do my own thing and live my own life. And I just would appreciate it if maybe you kind of, you know, just realize like, I'm a big girl now. I need my own space. I need my own thoughts. If you have opinions and stuff, you know, kind of keep it. Like, I just want your support. You can have a conversation with her. But if you think that that'll make things 10 times worse, then just start creating the distance. Break already 2 months in. I think that's why he's addressing it. Oh yeah. I think you just need to, I think it'll eventually, she'll get the hint that in order to have access to your life, she's going to have to just have access to your life, not control your life. And I feel as though he talks about how like you have a lot of plans, and I feel as though you're also talking about how you don't know if you're going to be able to accomplish the plans that you have for yourself. And he's talking about you getting outside of your head with that. I feel as though he's talking about you're stronger than you think you are. And I feel as though he's talking about not having so much self-doubt when it comes to it. I don't know if this kind of feels more so career or school kind of direction. But I feel as though he's talking about if you put your mind to it, you'll be able to do it. Yeah, I just feel like he's talking about how like this is like your time. I feel as though this year you kind of try to set goals. Yes, we are wanting to get married. I don't know if I can without her. Yeah, it just feels as though this is supposed to be a big year for you. It's almost as if it's like your self-healing year. Like, he was also showing me like weights and stuff, so I don't know if you're like going to like trying to like actually like get your body fit or anything like that, or like thinking about going to the gym. Or I just feel like this is the year to where you're trying to really take care of yourself. And I feel like you have a lot of big things this year. And he's kind of saying like, don't doubt yourself, do what you got to do. I feel as though he's talking about like, don't put your mind in that way. Like, if you have things that you want to do it. This is your life. Don't sit there and try to let other people control you of your life. Don't sit there and doubt yourself. Like, trust your instincts. It's what you need to do. I'm so sorry, Bambi. We are wanting to get married, and I don't know if I can without her. That's the only comment I got. You feel better. And exactly, and this is why I say whatever you guys are feeling, they will address it in your readings. Whatever you got going on in your life, normally that's why they draw me to you, because it's something that you need to hear. So I'm glad that resonated. Oh, 100%, they always hear it. This is how he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on because he's around you. He knows exactly what you're saying. He knows when you're talking to him. Like I said earlier, you've been asking him that question and he's answering. It's 100% because he's there. He has front row seats to your life. They know what you guys are talking about. And I know some people will ask me, they'll be like, well, if they're around, like, are they around for like intimacy, or they around for that, like in the shower. No, it's not like that. It's a more general sense. Like they're there around you to know when you need them, when you're asking for them, when you're asking for advice, when you need support, when you need love. Like they're there for you around that. They're there to watch you because they're super proud of you on the other side, all that kind of stuff. But no, I hope this helped. I really do. And I feel as though, again, this is why they draw me to who needs to hear a reading. And don't forget, guys, 9 times out of 10, if you have an intuition that you sit there and be like, oh, my grandpa would say this to me right now. 9 times out of 10, it's because they're telling you and you feel them telling you something. So go ahead and trust your gut, guys, okay? Trust it. Again, love doesn't end when their life ends. The love continues no matter what. So I hope that resonated with you. And I'm glad you feel better. It's, that's what I hope every single time I give a reading. I hope it helps you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for all the likes and follows. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, absolutely. You can ask me a question. You're actually going to be my last read for today. I'm sorry, guys. It's already 3 o'clock for me. Hi, Kit Kat. I don't do just random questions. I always say that if you have a reading, your questions will be answered. If you would like, you can either watch my next live in hopes to get a reading, or you can always send me an email for a private reading. I don't know if you can ask, but does he want me to move on from the dollhouse, or is it okay to brave? Let me ask him specifically, because I have a feeling of what I should do, but let me ask him specifically. So I feel as though he's talking about how you kind of might know the answer to this already, knowing the kind of man he is. I feel as though he's talking about how he is the kind of man who feels as though you need to protect your peace. And there's no, it's kind of like, is it worth it? If that makes sense. I feel as though he's talking about how he in general is just like, objects aren't what tie us to a person. It has everything to do with our love, our memories. And I feel as though if this is just creating more toxicity and havoc and fighting, then maybe sometimes just letting it go is just to let it go. I feel as though he kind of talks about in general, like, yeah, it's almost as if he just really feels as though it's like not worth fighting. But he is saying that it does show you what kind of person they are. Like, this is the kind of person they are. And you know that he would not want this kind of fighting. And it feels as almost he would say, like, is it really worth fighting over? That sounds about right, yeah. I feel as though he's talking about how you got a better gift. Or you have to recognize that you have a better gift. I don't know if it's because he's talking about, like, on an emotional sense, like this kind of a gift, being able to speak to him again, but it's almost as if you have something that is worth more than any dollhouse could give you. So I don't know if there's something else that you could have had from him, or there's something else that you will be getting from him, but it's almost as if he's kind of talking about how it's just not important. Did I got my grandma's? Yes, absolutely. So I feel as though he's kind of talking about, again, in order to just protect your peace, he understands why you would want it, but it feels almost as if it's just more of a hassle to kind of have it in your possession. And again, you don't need to have something physically from him to know how much he loved you. I hope that answers your question. But just waiting to see. It did. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Absolutely. I'm gonna leave his love and light with you. He was terrific. He did very well for being a skeptic, to be honest. In the beginning, it was a little bit of, oh, we're gonna try and pull this, but he ended up doing very, very well. Again, I loved the kite thing. Absolutely. If you have any other feedback, you can message me and like tell me some of the things that I brought up if you didn't want to put the specifics in the chat. I would love to know about the blanket too, with all the like shirts and stuff. But thank you so much for being vulnerable and allowing us to read for you, especially with everyone kind of watching on a live. Go ahead and show your family the video on the YT channel, and I will also send you your notes in your messages. If for some reason I don't send it to you by tomorrow, send me an email, because it could be that I'm not allowed to send you a message on TikTok based off of your settings. So I hope that resonated with you. I'm going to leave his love and light with you now. Okay. And thank you guys, everyone else, your likes and follows and staying by and just watching this. I really appreciate it. I wish I could read for everyone. I really do. No, Austin, yes, absolutely. And he was such a teddy bear. He was super nice. Hi, Juanita. Today's my first time with you. I love your calmness and sincereness. Thank you. I'll be back. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think this week I'm going to go back to my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday readings. I haven't decided. It'll either be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, or Thursday. So honestly, I always just suggest you guys to hit there's a thing you can hit on the profile and it gets notifications. I'm always picking and choosing whenever I can get on to here, but I do try to go on at least 2 to 3 times a week. But you guys can also send me an email, message me on here if you guys want private readings as well. Because again, you know, I can't get to everyone on lives. I totally understand. But thank you guys for all the love, the likes, the follows. And again, one more warning, there is someone who's impersonating me out there on TikTok. They have the same handle as me, except for they removed the S from spirits. So instead of spirits with Sky, they put spirit with Sky. They have my email and my website in their bio. They are posting my videos and my feedback page, which is strange. They are messaging my followers asking for money. So please do not get scammed. Do not believe them. It is not me. I am working with TikTok right now to try and get them removed. I have like a support ticket or something. I will never ask you for money on here ever. All of my readings are always free. So definitely do not fall for that scam. That's my biggest fear, is that my followers are going to. I just sent them a bunch of evidence. So it's like pictures, screenshots, all that stuff. And so hopefully it gets taken down. But be on the lookout, guys. This is my only account. I don't have any other account. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and send me a message if you guys have any questions. Have a beautiful Sunday, guys.